Well, hello there. Good morning. It is Thursday, January 16th. Slightly late start this morning. I was trying to get some files pulled onto my Mac that I'm using more and more for development, rather than the Windows PC that I have hooked up onto my network for such things. And yeah, so I have some issues that I want to work through. Um, I really thought I had cleaned up a lot of these problems that I see. They're just compiler warnings. But let's see what's what over here on the remote desktop side. We'll close this. Close this. Okay, well, let's take a peek. Rebuild. Excuse me. Okay, 31 warnings. I really thought I had gone through and cleared all of these up. That's very strange. Let's flip over to main. Shouldn't have any commits. Come on. Let's check out main and sync. All right. Now we'll go back over to UI improvements and see if there is anything over there. Let's merge in from main. Yes, let's merge. Take a look. Okay. Let's build it. Let's run it on the Windows laptop real quick. See what we get. All right, it looks to be about right. Let's sign in. Boop. Go in like so. Load some townsfolk. New NPC. Roll the dice a little bit. Yeah, let's go ahead and generate. And save. Okay, back to the list. There's Kairock Thunderscale. Okay, seems to be working okay. We have 0 warnings once again for some reason. So let's rebuild the solution one more time. All right. I really thought I had cleaned up all of those warnings. I'm going to have to do another pass on that. No problem. No worries. So we know it's fine over here on the Windows side. Let's see how it behaves on VS Code. We've got like 34 problems. They're just warnings from the looks of things. That's okay. And let's see if we can run it. The last time I tried running it on the Mac, I was missing some important files and didn't have a few things. But let's see here. Okay, there's that. And it looks like, can I find runtime config, blah, 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 blah. Runtime config.json. Properties, launch settings. I don't have a runtime config. All right, let's see if there's one over here. Dependencies, properties. Launch settings, perhaps. IIS, profiles, project. Well, you know what we have over here? We have copy. We've got CopIlot. I actually want to pop it out in a new window. Where is that? It's under here. Here we go. I just synchronized this solution from GitHub, and it runs fine on my Windows laptop, but I'm getting the following error on my MacBook with a capital M. And it's just looking at my workspace. Bin debug net 8 directory. Build configuration is set to debug or release as needed. Okay, I'm going to pull this over to my other machine. And let's go to the editors. And let's take a look at this folder in the Finder. Pull this guy over here. And there's app settings, all that stuff. Bin, debug, net8. And it says I need to find a runtime config.json. Here's runtime config.json right here. Let's take another look at that error message. Cannot find runtime config at bin debug net8 game tools blazor client.client. And this is blazor client.client. No. Have I got for some reason, we've got a reference to blazor client.client. And let's compare over here. Dependencies, projects, blazor client.client. Just real quick, because we know this one works over here, right? So just for laughs, Close launch settings. What happens if I remove this reference? We can put it back if we need to. And build, clean. Build, rebuild. Sometimes we have to fight our tech a little bit, because sometimes things will get a little bit goofy. Now let's run the app and see if it's actually, there were build errors. Nope. Let's comment that out. Save it. No. Save it. Different keybinds. Rebuild. Excuse me. Not routes.razor. Do I even have anything over in client? Client? Is there anything relevant here? Counter. No, there's not a darn thing. Hey, what's up, Mars? Let's get rid of that. That can go bye-bye. Got an extra trailing quote that we can eliminate. I can't use the command key on my keyboard. Add additional assemblies. You can go bye-bye as well. Save. Yeah, I get that, man. Let's try running again. And here we go. Now, I just want to make sure nothing weird's going on over here. Sign in. Go to the townsfolk. New. Show options. Say he's a cook. Not retired. Roll him. Yeah. Get the AI description. Groovy. Save it. Back to list. Seems to be working well. So, yeah, that's good stuff. So, let's commit. Removes unused Blazor project from references. Removes references to it in a couple places in the code. Commit. And we'll push. We'll just sync. Screw it. If you go. Oh, that's right. We have to just push it. Off you go. Now we'll come up to GitHub. GitHub. And I need to go into this repository. Compare and pull. running some automated, it's basically just a build check and runs a couple of unit test projects. But we'll let that happen. And then we'll squash merge and pull down on the Mac side and try to run it again. Do-do-do-do-do. I really should. Well, I want to refine my triggers at some point. Okay, so the pull request one worked. I'm going to just let both checks run. La 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 la. Screw it. Squash and merge. Do it. I'm going to leave that branch live. Just cuz. And we're on main. Good. Pop down here. Minimize this. And I want to, whoops, I want to sync. Do it. And we will clean. Rebuild. And there's our compiler warnings and stuff. But let's try running the Blazor app now. See if it still complains about that runtime config. Oh, you're a dirty bird. It doesn't need the runtime config for that assembly. So let's see. Reference to the client's gone. Good. WASM app host. I'm not using that. So let's take a look at the program.cs here. And interactive server, add interactive WebAssembly components. I don't really have any interactive WebAssembly components. Can I pull that out? Here's what I'm going to do. Copy, paste, comment, and remove. Excuse me. Copy, paste, comment, and remove. Save. Rebuild. Try running it. Have I been trying to run the wrong damn thing? Start new instance. And off we go. Let's make sure it all works. All right, so my interactivity all just went. I suspect it's because I took that stuff out. So we're going to try it again after putting these lines back in, because it looks like it is using a little bit of WebAssembly in the background. Cancel. Oh, you're a dirty rat. Try this one. Debug. Here's Edge. Here we go. Okay. Oh, I think I know what's going on. I got pop up in here. And that's still enabled. I'll have to fix that up later. Item group components, create NPC Razor CSS. Yeah. I need an example of Townsfolk Manager. What is style sheet CSS in there? It's a strange place for that. I'm going to need to look at something somewhere else real quick. Source, clients, API, CS project. Let's just look at this in text edit real quick. There. Preserve newest, save this, stop. Here's app settings.json, here's the .env. And let's try running it again. Start new. Oh gosh, this kind of thing is fun. Here's all that. Sign in. Stop. Something's being goofy. Rebuild. All right, we can go to About. We can go to Home. We can go to Sign In. Or it's temporarily unavailable. 5176 is the IP, or is the port number there. Let's come over here, run it. And what's the port number over here? I might have to add a 7277. Okay. Let's close that. Bounce here. Stop. 7277. Remember that. Launch settings. There's 7277. Okay. Localhost 7277. Excuse me. Laser on Wi-Fi. Add configuration. Launch C# project. I don't really want to do that. So let's get rid of this node. Boop. Get out of here. Let's shrink all of this stuff down. Of course, CLR launch build. Pre-launch task build. These are just duplicates. Let's get rid of that. Save. Bounce over here. Run it. Cancel. Oh, for crying out loud. Source. Launch. Come in here. I don't really see anything of the like in here. So You know what? I think what happens if we do this? Configure task. .NET build. Yeah. Group build, problem watcher, .NET build. Yeah, okay. Let's see if that gives us what we want. Cancel. This is being very, very, very weird. Let's copy this, because I wonder if the label is the problem. Build client, save. New, save. And we're building. Golly. HTTPS localhost. Open this guy up. Oh, it's in Safari. All right. So here's sign up and sign in. Let's roll. Sign in with my fingerprint. And we are in. Beautiful. We have local debugging on my Mac re-enabled. Ah, okay. Sign out. Groovy. Let's take a look at my immediate to-dos in the app. Update the button styles to use a cursor on hover. I'm going to stop that app. Close this rubbish. Close that. Projects. Do we still have that? No, we do not. Good. All right. I need to come into the W root. I believe it'll be in styles. Now, app host, task host, shown hidden, form group, form label, form control, button, big button, clickable, clickable hover, clickable active. And I want to say button. And oh gosh, what's the pseudo selector? There we go. So rather than doing this nonsense on the hover and all that, let's just say cursor we'll go with just a plain vanilla pointer for now. Run this. Pop that open. Sign in. Fingerprint. Ah, good. Good, 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 good. Let's view. Back to list. New NPC. Roll them. Sweet. All right. Update button styles. Got it. Okay. Now, stop logging consumption to business objects table. Create a new table for that instead. That's absolutely something I gotta freaking do right now. Because when I was standing this stuff up, I was just learning about Azure Table Storage. And let me pull this over while I do all of my login to Azure here. Portal.azure.com. Go in here. And I thought, silly me, that I could use the same table for two different types of information that I want to save. Naive as I am. And I'm going to pop open the storage browser. And we'll go into business objects. And I'll show you what I'm dealing with here. Because this is not wonderful. I do not love this. So I'm going to pop up here. And you can see we've got our consumption log. And this is really, really, really broad. Or there's a number of attributes on it anyway. And then I've also got users, which has other data. So I think what I need to do is, I'm going to shrink that down here. Let's just close this. And, oh gosh, where are we? In launch. What do I need to do to open a browser when this launch task is selected? No. That feels like it's completely out to freaking lunch here. Now this, it needs to go. That old one, we'll get rid of it. I'll live with just manually opening my browser at this point. All right. So let's stop the project and resource access. Actually, I should take a look at the managers here. User manager, AI workload manager. Did I put that on the user manager? I did. Usage meters. Now, what do you use? Quota access. Go to definition. Load user quota. All right. That is a resource access. I believe you're in here. Quota access table provider. Oh goodness, I've got changes here. I need to. Here I've been just merrily making changes like a bonehead. Branch. Create branch from main. Feature slash fixing defects. There we go. That's better. Woo! So table name is business objects. User's partition key is that. Consume quota. That just updates the quota. Log token consumption. Here we go. Dot base table name. Let's go to the definition here. Stop. Go to definition on this. And let's say token consumption. And the partition ID, I think I want to use as the user ID. Save. Now, I've got some things I'm doing over here on the user entity. Go to definition. Let's go here. User ID display name. And partition key. The row key over here is user ID. So that means over here on token consumption entity, get there we go. Row key, we can leave that as is. Save. Now let's spin this up. Go. And I'll have this open on another screen. can see that I've got business objects, user objects, and some $ logs. I don't know what the heck those are. I think those are automatically added. But that's running. Let's find the IP address for the HTTPS. Get focus back here. Spinning over here. I am logged in. Groovy. Let's make a new NPC. We'll roll some dice. Yeah, this looks like an interesting character to run into at a tavern. Or out on the road, sitting on a rock by the side of the road. Okay. Save. Go back to the list. And if I'm thinking about all of this the right way, I should have a new table in here. But I seem to not. That's very peculiar. Tables. Business objects. Sort by my timestamp. Here's 16. Consumption log is 16 at 55. Just like a minute ago. And that's very strange. Very strange indeed. Stop. Quota access table provider. Excuse me. All right. Definition over here, token consumption, consumption log. Is this partition ID actually used anywhere? Let's find all references. There we go. Okay, how am I doing things over here in the constructor? Oh, I don't even have a constructor over here. All right. Well, we've got a breakpoint here. Hi, cat. She's lonely. All right. Come in here. We've already got the auth token saved in our cookies. Let's go with a new NPC. Half orc, female, hunter, soldier. Generate. All right. Now, token consumption entity. Base table name is that. Now, that's odd. Let's go to the definition here. Let it rip. Let it keep going. Stop. Let's rebuild. Because it's using old code. It's an old code, sir, but it checks out. And let's try running again. Symbols, just my code, just my code, just my code. Don't see any errors in here. Do we have bugs? We do not seem to. Good. Let's try reloading. Here we go. Go to new. Yeah, why not? Generate that. The dice seem to be in a half-orc kind of mood today. Oh, something goofy's going on. Stop. Reload. Silly thing. Half-elf mason, guild artisan. Yeah, let's try that one. We're thinking. There's token consumption. We've got the correct table name now. Entity. Partition key is that. Good. Just what we want. It's an arbitrary row key. Engage. Make it so. All of that stuff. Let's go back out to the tables. Here's our token consumption. Fantastic. Good, 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 good. All right. Now, a task for later for me for homework at some point. Write a script to move all objects from business objects table, all token consumption objects from the business objects table to the token consumption Azure Table. And that is closed. Great. Great, great, great. That makes me happy. Business objects, groovy, token consumption. We just have the one. 706 tokens in, 179 out using GPT-4o Mini. This is a thing of beauty. All right. Reload, you silly goose. There we go. Let's go home. About NPCs. Good. The app's still responding. I want to add another observation. Loading usage doesn't seem to update when the refreshed quota state arrives back in the client. And that might have something to do with me ripping the WebAssembly stuff out. Let's see if it fixes it after we explicitly after we actually generate something, because I know we're bringing back refreshed quota stuff. That's weird. But okay. All right, so we've got some goofy stuff going on. It doesn't seem to be happening all that often, but we'll track it all down and fix it as we find it and as we discover these issues. But I have knocked a couple of things off the list. The new NPC thing, all of these interactive buttons are now getting the cursor thing. And we are no longer writing to the business objects tab. I'm going to go back to the list. New NPC. Yeah, okay. Generate a description. Go. Just going to 86 that breakpoint because we don't really need it anymore. Here we go. Save the townsperson. Go back to the list. And we've got Alara Whitfield. View. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. So I'm not going to have a session this afternoon. I've signed up for some free training through Microsoft on using GitHub CopIlot. Hopefully I can learn to use it more effectively. It's a 2-day thing in the afternoons, runs from about noon until 3:30 today and noon until 2 tomorrow. If you're curious about it, I'll see if I can find where to sign up to get those emails from Microsoft, so that you can sign up for these trainings as well. They're free, and even though I've been writing code for decades at this point, I like to believe that I can learn, that there's always a chance that I will learn something even from elementary content. I am humble enough to know that I don't know all the things, and that even some of the basics I've got some holes in, or I've got some holes in some of my knowledge of the basics. So there's always opportunities to learn, even if it's just a review of material that I've experienced before. I might discover a new way of looking at something, or learn a little detail that completely changes my workflow and makes things more efficient. So, any opportunity to attend a free training or what have you, there's a there's better than even odds that I'll get some value out of it. So until tomorrow, take care of yourselves and happy coding.